right. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Got a good dog boy, how with her. All right, out here on the hedges. It's prophesied downfall this wicked queen. All right, with the prophets of good works. Wisconsin camp. All right. So first I'm starting by giving all praise, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakak Wadash. All praises to the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. His one and only true name is Yahweh. In the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. His one and only true name is Yahweh Shah. In the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. All right. So as you see, the topic is famine is coming. And I was thinking to put like / healing, right? Because we're coming into the time frame where World War III has started. And we know that all these proxy wars always lead to one big war, right? We've seen that throughout history, man. All right. So today we're going to get into how the Lord is going to bring a famine, but he's going to deliver the Israelites out of it. And I'm going to bring out a few precepts, a little bit more precepts about the famine than I am the healing, right? So we just get straight into it. I got a few precepts that I made in the spirit, you know what I'm saying, for this lesson. Street teaching for the hopeful elect and Lord willing is edifying, right? So we're going to get straight into it. And we're going to get the book of John, the book of Job, chapter 5, if I'm not mistaken. And when we get verse, we're going to start at verse, let's start at verse 18, all right? It says, for he maketh sore and bindeth up, right? For he maketh sore, meaning us Israelites, the children of the living power, are wounded, we're sore in slavery, right? In captivity. We're in captivity and we're wounded, right? It says, and bonded up. So I wanted to say that that word for when you get into that word for Slakia, when you get into that word for sore in the Hebrew, it's ka'ab, which goes into to be grievous or to be sore, right? To be afflicted, right? It says, and bonded up, and the Lord bonded up, meaning the Lord heals. He heals us, right? Because when you bind up a broken bone, what do? You mend it together. You bind it up, and you get it back in the way it's supposed to be. Like if you broke a leg, they kind of like re-break it to put it back on the structure it's supposed to be, so it don't be like messed up when it heal, but it come back stronger, right? So the Lord bonded us up out of this captivity, meaning he healed us, right? Hey, shalom, sister Yahweh, Bashim Al-Shah, Bashim Al-Kakwadash, Barakatah, Shema Al-Tah. All right, so as I was just saying, right, so when you get into that word, as I said, it was ka'ab, is a primitive root, right? To feel pain, right? To grieve, to be a spoil, right? And we know being in slavery, we're a spoil, right? We're wounded. And then as I just brought out, that and that's either to feel pain mentally or physically. And we're in captivity, so we doing is both basically, right? Subject to payments, according to the book of Baruch, if I'm not mistaken, right? Being in subjection unto these heathens, man, right? So, but the Lord is gonna bind us up because the Lord put us in slavery for punishment. We are sore and worn out, man. It says, but the Lord will heal us. He will bind our wounds up and he'll heal our wounds. He'll bandage us up, man. All right. So let's keep going. All right, it says, and bindeth up. He wounded, and his hands make whole. So even though he put us into slavery for our disobedience, he's gonna make us whole, Lord, when we part of the elect number, right? It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So when you get into those 6 troubles, is the Hebrew word for tazarah, and it is from Hebrews 6:8-6:9, as I've written down, right? And it's of tribulation, adversity, affliction, anguish, distress, or trouble, right? So we know what's coming is this coming famine. As I just said for the beginning of my lesson, this coming famine is on its way. But we see what's going on with the World War III, with the Strait of Hormuz. We see that a lot of countries are saying they won't be able to get no fertilizer and stuff like that within the next couple years. So you can read articles on it, and Lord willing, I'll be able to put a couple articles within on my page for this street teaching, right? But the fertilizer, again, as you keep hearing me say, and plenty of other brothers, it's a big thing dealing with our crops, dealing with the nation's crops, right? Dealing with kingdoms and tribes and stuff in our crops, man. It's a big thing, man. Because you need fertilizer for the plant health, for the plant growth, for the plant production, right? And if you can't get the fertilizer, man, what happens? Right? The plant withers away, or if the plant comes with all type of natural born illnesses and stuff, man, right? That which eventually makes the plant wither away, or makes the fruit wither away, or the vegetable wither away, man, right? So that Tazarah, right? As I was just saying, is coming to that coming affliction, that coming famine, right? The Lord's going to deliver us out of it, right? Lord willing, we part of the elect number. It says, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So in 7 troubles, you know, when you read in Revelation, which that's what I'm about to get. Let's go to Revelation 8. All right, Revelation 8. Let's get verse. Let's get verse 13, right? Because we know the Lord, them trumpets have been blowing, man, right? And we know this only we've been at that time frame where the last trumpet is finna go off, right? For better words. And let's get straight to it. I don't want to babble too much. And this is Revelation 8, and let's start verse 13, or let's get verse 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe!" And those last 3 woes, man. Right? We know one woe was considered for World War I. The other woe was considered for World War II. And you can read that in Revelation. If you read Revelation 20, when a beast is loose, if I'm not mistaken, or loose for a little season, when I'm mistaken, it's Revelation 20, or I could be thinking of Revelation 9. So forgive me. I don't want to mix those verses up, but when you read about the beast being loose for a little season, these 600 plus years that he's been loose, which is the Edomites, right? 1400s and 1400s for the Renaissance, the rebirth of Esau, Edom, better word, that's coming out like a phoenix, singing its talents into the earth, right? When you read about this devil, right? You had World War I, World War II, and I brought out in my last lesson that king that was over during that time of World War I was Kaiser Wilhelm II, right? And we got into that word for Kaiser, which goes into Caesar, right? Or which goes into emperor, which means the same thing as king, right? So the king of World War I during the time Kaiser Wilhelm, right? World War II, you know, it was another so-called king, supposed, right? So that first woe, World War I went through, that second woe, World War II went through, and that third woe coming quickly, right? And I'm gonna get that. It says, to the inhabitants, and all these woes are destructions, right? It says, to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels which are yet to sound. But we know two of those woes already passed. So we know the third woe coming quickly, right? And this is the sixth troubles and going into that seventh trouble that the Lord should deliver the hopeful elect out of. But that seventh trouble goes into that nuclear destruction, man. Right? That last and final judgment upon this place, right? Well, but we know before that it's going to be a famine of the word, a famine of bread and water, man. Right? We seeing the signs, and if you can't see the signs, then you're blinded. But we're seeing these signs are fully in effect, man. Right? So let's go to Revelation 9, and let's get verse right verse as I was bringing out earlier about that king that they had over him, Kaiser Wilhelm II. But when you get right below that verse, it says one woe is past. It's verse 12, Revelation 9 and 12. One woe is past, meaning one world war has passed already. It says, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. And we know World War II is past, right? We know the World War III is right now in the making. It's fulfilling as we speak, as I speak, as the brothers speak, right? As the elders speak, man. Right, this place will go out by fire, man, according to the words of the Lord. Right, it says, all right. So if you keep reading, verse 13, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before power, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Right, and it says, and the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men. And we know on the third part of men, it goes into its three classifications of men, right? Or beings on earth. You got the sons of the living power, Yasha Allah, right? You have the sons of the heathen or the nations, and you have the sons of the wicked, which is the Edomites, man, right? Referring to the third parts of men and how this can be also referring to that this third world war is in the making, right? Because when you look at the Tigris and Euphrates River over there in the Middle Eastern area, right, it's actually drying up, man. If it ain't already dry, it's like it could be fully dry. I haven't did no article research to see, but last time I checked, it was drying up, and we know that river keeps a lot of the nations east of so-called the Israeli area, right? They keep a lot of those Arabic nations, those Russian tribes and stuff, them Asian tribes. They keep them from crossing over. But we know with that river drying up, because it's a big ass river. We know with that river drying up, it's making way for the kings of the east to come and make war, right? Let's get Second Esdras, and we know again these are the beginning of sorrows, man. Ain't better hold both of them. Give me. These are the beginning of sorrows. And let's get on Second Esdras. All right, let's get Second Esdras on chapter 16. And let's start at verse 18. In the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, beginning of hard times, horrible times, man, it's coming, right? It says, Salakia, the beginning of famine and great death, man. So this is just the beginning, man. But we're finna see it's people over there right now, especially during Hamitic tribes, they starving out, man. Right? And we know we see it. That's why you see those commercials on TV about for $1 a day. Excuse my friend, but for $1 a day, you can help these children over here in the land of Ham. Right? That's why you see that. That's why you see Esau advertising that, man. The wiles of the devil, man. He's advertising that because war is big money. And then war causes other certain tribes. If you ain't powerful enough, you starve. Right? Your nation of people starve because these other strong tribes around you or nations around you are at war, and they're causing economic collapses, global, you know what I'm saying, distress, man, for better words. So this is what's gonna happen, man. Right? With this war continuing, let's say in the next 10 years, man, this war continue as long as the Iraqi war did. Look what happened during the time of the Iraqi war. Gas prices shot up, the food prices shot up, right? This same thing is going on now, except we got inflation on top of it. It's like gonna add like a Great Depression. Remember what happened during the Great Depression? Right? Inflation was through the roof, man. Right? This probably gonna be worse than that, right? Because the Lord says famine and great death, man. Right? So we know if it's famine, we know that's uh a thirst for hunger, right? And these people already right now they can't even figure out the word of the Lord. So it's definitely gonna be a full thirst for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. Right? Which they ain't gonna be able to get, right? Because the prophets, the Lord's gonna shut the prophets' mouths, and the prophets ain't even gonna be out here. As you heard me and my brother say that, hey, you need to be working out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. You need to be for real setting yourself up that you might be saved, Lord willing, man. All right? Don't be setting yourself up for failure, because this place gonna go whether you're set up or not, man. All right, whether you got the blueprint or not, this place gonna go. And we know famine is part of it, starvation and stuff is part of it. The MOTB, right? We see Jacob's trouble, right? So imagine those things intensifying unto a scale where no one on earth could understand or be able to be like, man, you know. All right, let's keep going. It says, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. Right? And we know why them powers standing in fear, because the Israelites have woken up. So we know that them powers that be, even though they doing all these things, these wicked things, that they see that they're in the movie, man. They're in the movies to be wicked until they get destroyed. Right? They know that the kingdom behind their kingdom is gonna be the Yasharalah's kingdom. Right? When you read that Slakia, it's the empire of the Roman Empire of the Edomites. Basically tell you, just like in the book of Daniel, it tell you before the Lord come back who's gonna be in charge or who's gonna be ruling over the earth, man. And in that book as well, it tell you that, forgive me, did I even bring it? I probably didn't bring it, so forgive me. Let's see. Yeah, Colin, I left it on my table at home because I was about to do a lesson. But it tell you in that the Roman Empire of the Edomites, it tell you in that book that that these Edomites, Amalek and Esau, them both combined, basically will keep Jacob, true children, in captivity. So it said, what it say? Messiah ben David come back, and that's what it said. Till the Mashiach come back, it said you'll be in subjection unto these heathen, man. That's what it said in that book, man. You know, so we know that the times we living in, that this is the last kingdom, man. Before the how can I say, the era of Yasharallah, man. Right? Before the time of Yasharallah. Because the time of the orc is at the end, man. You read orcs, it's y'all, the end is approaching, man. Right? So let's keep going. It says, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? Lord willing, we be on the righteous side and not have to get acquitted with those that are evil and be damn right with them. All right. It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for men. So these are set as scourges to get us to repent, so that we can see, like, okay, this is what happened during the time of Egypt. It's this same plagues roaming around. This happened during the time of the Assyrian captivity. This happened during the time of Babylonian captivity. So we can see these things and be like spiritually preparing ourselves, right? Be like, okay, man, we don't went through this before, right? But a lot of our people, 66% of our people, gonna go through it again, right? And Lord willing, we not part of that number, man, right? It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And even during the time when I was a little kid, because I'm a 90s baby, but during the time I was even a little kid, you had little Debbie case, man, that was a quarter, man. And now them damn things are like $1 and something, man, or something more than that, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see during the time or when victuals were real cheap, it was great evils being poured into a pot, man. The Lord was letting the devil do all his stages for that coming World War III, man. He was letting the devil do that, man. All right. Right, and that's why it says Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, who cover the face of the just thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? It wasn't talking about no spiritual being. It was talking about who is this nation of people who gonna be doing all these things up into World War III, man. Right? Who's these nation of people that gonna under the Lord's subjection? Because they ain't nobody doing nothing unless the Lord will it. Right? Who is these nation of people who gonna cause World War III to jump off? Who gonna cause a famine to jump off? Right? Even though the Lord's calling him to jump off, but he gonna use Esau even for it, man. Right? So when you read, so as I just said, grow upon earth's sword. Remember 9/11, Vietnam War, all them wars, man, the Korean War, all that stuff, man. Right? It says, Slakia. It says, be to and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And we seen great confusion come in, right? We seen that with how they telling you that they that you Israelites are African American, right? That you Israelites should be longing to be a part of America and these linked up with these heathens, right? Right? But that's just to further their agenda. Because a nation of people who are not separate from another nation of people are conquered, or they doing the conquering, man. Right? There's never been a time in history where not one history where a nation of people linked up with people and lived in harmony. No, either you took them over and made them follow whatever laws and statutes and judgments you got set up, or you was on the other foot, right? That's how history has always been, man. And people might say it's like, hey, oh man, woo, woo, woo. But the point is that the Lord has set up things and woes for a reason, getting us sorrows, right? Because these things are sent as scourges. These things are sent as corrections, right? Especially unto the children of Israel, man. Right? So let's keep going. Because I wanted to get what's coming, even though the beginning of sorrows and all these things, and you read that in Matthew 24. Hey, cannibalism is coming, man. Right? Cannibalism. And I want to get that, and that's gonna get that in 2 Kings. Let me get verse 22 out of 2nd Ezra 16 first. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So this thing is coming, man. Thirst, hunger is coming, especially of hearing the words of the Lord. It says, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And what's coming? What we seeing in the making? World War III, man. But that ultimate judgment is coming, man. Them nukes, man. That's the ultimate ending game, man. That's the ultimate end game. Them thermonuclear destruction, man. Right? As I've been bringing out, there's a famine coming all the way leading up into thermal nukes, man. And the killing is coming behind. That's why I brought out Job, book of Job, chapter 5. And what's going into that and what it meant. Because even though Israel got to go through all these things, man, it's healing behind it, man. You know, we got to go through the storm. What's always behind the storm in the daytime? It's always beautiful behind it. After the storm is ended and it's passed by, it's beautiful. You might have a sunset, or you might have a beautiful clear sky, right? You know? All right, so that's it. 2 Kings chapter 6, right? Because I'm going to bring out some things during the time of this is during the time of the siege of the Samaria, right? And if I'm not mistaken, it was a siege by Ben-Hadad, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to make sure. Let's get that. This 2 Kings chapter 6, and we're going to get verse during the time of Elisha prophesying, right? We're going to get verse. We're going to start at verse. All right. All right, we're going to start at verse. I'm going to start at verse. I want to start at verse 20. And it came to pass when they were coming to Samaria that Elisha said, Lord Yahweh, Open the eyes of these men that they may see. And that what's going on now, and we telling you to see. Open your damn eyes, get that gunk out your eyes and see Israel. Right? And hear Shema. Hear. Right? It says, and the Lord Yahweh opened their eyes and they saw. And behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. They were in the midst of Samaria. Right? And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, and he saw them, my father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, thou shalt not smite them. Right? It says, and he answered, thou shalt not smite them, thou shalt not kill them, for better words. It says, wouldst thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive without sword, without bow? He said, so would you kill somebody you have taken captive? Asking him this question, right? And then we know this is coming up on, this is during the 800 BCs. I want to say 850 BC, 849, 848, if I'm not mistaken. During right before the siege, well, you know, this is going into the Syrian army, man, right? And what the king of Israel was saying unto Elisha, right? It says, let's keep going. It says, set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them, meaning more like resources, for better words. And when they had eaten and drank, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel, right? It says, and we about to get into the severity of famine, right, in the besiege of Samaria. It says, and it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, Slanky, I said his name wrong, Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria, where the Israelites was dwelling, man, right? And this was, if I'm not mistaken, a 1-year siege, man, right? And as I brought out 850 BC, maybe 849 BC to 848 BC, if I'm not mistaken, right? This is a 1-year siege, man, right? And Ben-Hadad was a Iranian, for better words, the Syrians, man, right? It says, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, right? Where our people were dwelling. And we know when our people got pushed out of the land of Samaria during that time, or during this time, a lot of them so-called Iranians and stuff dwelt in the land, right? It says, for there was great famine. For there was great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver. So until they besieged it, and it was like so much famine going on that people was eating on donkey heads, man. Right? It got expensive, basically. They were saying it got expensive, man. Right? And food was scarce, so they started eating donkey heads, man. And you see what a donkey head look like? It ain't really much protein on that, right? It says, and the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. And they was eating bird shit. That's crazy, man. But that's what's coming, man. You know, you heard of a potato famine, right? You also heard of during times, let's say, I want to say maybe 50s, 40s. I heard parents talking about that they was eating mud cakes and stuff, man. So think about that 10 times worse, man. And that's why I'm bringing out this, so you can understand what was happening to our people when they was in captivity and got besieged, for better words. And when it wasn't no food, as we've been warning you Israelites about this coming, man. Right along with the word of the Lord, first and foremost, being shut down. Right? The Lord shutting it down, man. Right? So let's keep going. It says, for 5 pieces of silver, so they was eating donkey heads and bird shit for it. Then they was getting basically gypped, right? It says, and as the king, and just like you see now, in certain areas where the Israelites dwell, man, a lot of them Israelites, they thrive off pork, man, because that's the cheapest, thing they can buy outside of anything, which we know everything is polluted, but that's the cheapest thing they able to buy, man. Right? So we know it's this place is set up against us, man. We know this place is set up uh, uh to hinder us, to keep us far away from our power, man. Right? It says, and the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. There cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. He said, If the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee? So this is just wicked ass kings too, and why we was going through a lot of things, right? He was like, man, the Lord ain't helping us. Why I'm gonna help? I can't do nothing, right? It says, out of the barn floor or out of the wine press. It says, and the king said unto her, What alieth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son that we may eat him today. And we will eat my son tomorrow. So that's how bad it was. They started eating each other, man. Israelites eating each other, right? And that's how bad it's going to get here. People going to be eating mud cakes. People going to be trying to eat each other. Women going to be trying to get their children on so they can eat each other's children, man. And, you know, and it's crazy if you ever watched it. I'm going to get on spiritual rant. If you ever watched the TV show From, those immortal creatures in the TV series killed their children to gain immortality, right? Or ate their children to gain immortality. Something in that aspect, they like ate their children, killed their children to gain immortality, right? You're gonna have people with that mind frame. Well, we gaining food. Yeah, they can be basically wolves, man. Yeah, we gonna eat my son later, but let's eat yours first, right? It's gonna be people like there's gonna be so much wickedness going on the earth during this time, man. Right? Right. So I'm just using a parallel. It says, so she's screaming to the king, my lord, help me, because this woman that ate my kid, they done dipped off of me, for better words. Right? It says, so we boiled my son and did eat him. Killed her own son, man. And it's a sin. Thou shalt not kill. Right? It says, and I said unto her, on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. All right, so give me your son. We don't ate my son, give me your son. And it says, and she had hid her son. So they tipped off on him, man. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes because she did something so stupid, right? And he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. He was mourning, man, because the people was going through that stuff, man, was getting siege, man. They couldn't do nothing about it because the Lord had ordained it, man. It's going to be the same for 2/3 of our people. They didn't want to get it now. Later on, they ain't going to be able to get it. The Lord going to shut up that to them, man. They ain't going to be able to get nothing, man. But judgments. And Lord willing, we're not part of that number. It says, then he said, go, power do so, and more also to me. So he was even telling you that he was getting afflicted, right? And a lot of our kings got afflicted during the captivities, man. Especially kings that was wicked. They got afflicted. The Lord like put them through tribulations, hard tribulations, man. You see it when you read on 1st, 2nd Samuel dealing with King Saul. All right. You know, it says, then he said, power do so and more also to me. If the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him. Right? This would be synonymous to the hopeful elect members. And the king sent a man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, see ye how this son of a murderer have sent to take away mine head? See that? It says, look, when the messenger cometh, shut the door and hold him fast at the door, meaning don't let him in. It says, it's not the sound of his master's feet behind him, right? And this is how bad it was during this time, man. People trying to eat each other, man. It says, and while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, behold, this evil is of the Lord Yahweh. What should I wait for the Lord Yahweh any longer? Or why should I wait? Right? So a lot of people gonna have that mind frame. Why? Hey, the Lord ain't saving us. I shouldn't give a crap about anything. And a lot of our people are like that now. So think about that mind frame being intensified. Think about that rage of them not giving a damn being intensified. That's why I always heard my mom say, my earthly mother, hey, the Lord gonna eventually take his hand from the earth. Right? And he is, man. It's gonna be so bad, man. People think we're like joking. It's gonna be bad as hell, man. Right? Well, and that's why you always hear me say you need to get into some martial arts, get into something, and get your endurance up. You know what I mean? It's not too expedient, but it'll help, right? Get yourself together, man. Mentally, spiritually, man. Right? Get yourself together, right? I'm about to when I get done with this, I'm going on a 3 mile run, right? Because it's some things that's finna coming. There's some things that's coming, and we're gonna need to be prepared, man. And a lot of us brothers, we gotta be in a warrior mindset, right? And the Steve Fast of a warrior, of warriors, right? Spiritual warriors. All right, so let's keep going. It says, so he basically like, this evil was of the Lord, and it was nothing that no king or anybody could do about it. And the evil ones, the wicked ones, were just eating each other, man. The wicked Israelites were just eating each other, tricking each other to eat each other. You're getting the king to be a part of it, right? So let's keep going. It says, this is chapter 7. Then Elisha said, hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh. So Shema Yashala. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, in the gate of Samaria. Then a Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of power, and said, behold, if the Lord Yahweh will make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shall not eat thereof. So Elisha was prophesying the end of that famine, the end of those horrible times, man. Right? Just like as you hear the elders, the elect elders of the house of David prophesying to you Israelites the same thing. You gotta go through hell, but you gotta go through that soreness, right? But you get bonded up, you get healed. Lord willing, we probably elect them, man. Right? You gotta go through all those that Tazarayim, man. The afflictions, the tribulations, man. Right? You gotta be dealing with your kababium, kaabium, right? In a mental or physical state, because a lot of our people are they have disabilities, man. They deal with stuff, man, and it's all because of this place. It's all because we're in subjection unto these heathen, man. Because we're not in the land, because everything is polluted, man. You heard me say it earlier. So the Lord is gonna bring this a famine upon this place, man. There's nothing nobody can do about it. Hey, guess what? The elders can't save y'all. Us, man, we can't save nobody, man. The Lord's gonna be doing the saving and the killing, man. Right? We're just messengers. We just messengers trying not to get kicked down that damn bottomless pit with the spikes at the end of, like Leonidas kicked one messenger down. Right? That's it. Messengers here to fulfill a message, let you know what's gonna happen, and Lord willing, we be protected after the message, man. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on that. But during that time of the siege of Bahadad, man, our people was in some horrible conditions, man. Around the 850 BC, 849 BC, right? So let's keep going. All right, so the cannibalism is coming, man. This famine is coming. Cannibalism is coming. That's why I brought out 2 Kings chapter 6. Let's get Ezekiel 33. Psalms 33 and get Psalms 37. Lord willing, this is adding up and making sense that just like how that king was telling his own people while he was starving and trying to eat some people too, hey, there ain't nothing he can do about it. And we telling y'all, once the Lord take his hand from this place, nothing, ain't no messages going out. You ain't about to be able to get on YouTube to hear the good news. You ain't about to be able to find it. They are already trying to censor it. So guess what? If some things happen, they're gonna censor it fully, man. The Lord gonna allow Esau Edom to censor it fully, and you Jake's gonna be out of time. Right now, you have time to get yourself together, man. All right, so let's get Psalms 33, and let's get let's start at verse 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord Yahweh is upon them that fear him. Right? So those that was around Elisha, during the time of the Sumerian siege were, guess what? They was good. And those that wasn't, what was they doing? Eating each other. It was all out confusion and chaos. But if you notice, Elisha was in that one steady house, and that house was synonymous to the Lord's protection, man. As you always hear us bring out Proverbs, if I'm not mistaken, Proverbs 18:10, if I'm not mistaken. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. You can read Sirach 17:10, if I'm not mistaken. The name of the Lord, it matters, man. The truth matters. To have the correct truth matters. It's gonna be having the correct truth and being led by that will also lead you to those that pasture of protection, for better words, right? From wolves, foxes, right? Damn eagles, right? Damn bears, man. Coyotes, right? You know, let's keep going. Upon them that hope in his mercy, and that's what we hope for. That's what we praying for, mercy. Because then with that mercy that he gonna show us, Lord willing, probably like number, it comes protection, man. Right? To be covered. It says verse 19, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Right? To keep us alive in what? In famine, man. Right? You never know. The Lord might put the spirit on a brother or sister. They might not have to eat nothing. Right? Might put the spirit on the elder. They might not have to eat nothing. Might not have to drink anything. Just going through it. Having, you know, say just like not even like there's nothing happening to him. This just me spiritually speaking as a man. Because my mind, I like to think of things that can happen like that. Right? The Lord gives you spiritual powers where hunger doesn't matter in your spiritual gift. Right? Or the Lord really give you a spiritual connection with the animals during this time. And the animals bring you food. Birds or something. Right? We never know. But we hope to be covered during this time. We know a famine's coming, man. Right. Let's get Psalms 37. And let's get verse all right, let's start at verse. This is Psalms 37. Let's start at verse 17. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, meaning the rule of the wicked, you know, the strength of the wicked shall be broken. The Lord's gonna cut it off. The Lord's gonna destroy it, dismantle it. It says, but the Lord Yahweh upholdeth the righteous, as I just brought out in Psalm 33, right? That even though a famine is coming, right? Get back to that. It says, behold, the eye of the Lord Yahweh is upon them that fear him. So even though a famine is coming, the Lord he's watching. He's watching those that fear him. Sincerely fear him. Not no lips speaking, right? But your actions showing that you fear the Heavenly Father in the name of his only begotten Son, right? He's like, because he got look, he all got our debt number, man. Oh, this person owe me. This person owe me. Oh, okay. You know, the Lord ain't about to hide that we owe him, man. We owe the Lord, right? You either gonna owe the Lord your service or he gonna take your life, man. That's how it go, man. A lot of our people realize that if you read the Bible, and that's why they can't connect the body. Oh, the Lord is evil. You hear a lot of people say he's the evil power. Why would I follow him? Right? They want to hear that universal preaching that they've been taught from slavery. The universe that everyone's connected. Everyone can have this salvation, man. When it's not in the scriptures, man. Right? So look, I just want to keep going. It says, verse 18, Psalms 37 and 18. The Lord Yahweh knoweth the day of the upright. So when is the day of the upright coming? Right after that, this famine, MOTB, right? And them thermal nukes, man. Second Ezra chapter 6 and 9. Well, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Right? Jacob, supplanter, hill catcher, man. You know, Esau think he about to score that damn touchdown. Jake on his heels, man, right on his ass. Tripped him, about to trip him up. Or it's the end of the game. They think that they about to be able to score this touchdown to beat us. But I guess what? We about to trip that ass up, man. The Lord about to attack before you even hit the end zone, man. Right? And that's what's coming, man. Right? The Lord, Yahweh, knoweth the day of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. Now it's gonna be for a short time. Shall be forever, man. So the hopeful elect gonna reign forever, man. Those that are delivered, get a so-called UFO, gonna get new bodies, and they're gonna be part of that kingdom. It's gonna reign forever, right? And the rest of you jakes that are part of that third, Lord willing, we're not part of that number, gonna die in thermonuclear fire. It's gonna be hot as shit, right? Hotter than your oven. It's gonna be hot as hell. Y'all gonna burn up, melt your eye sockets, your tongues. You're gonna burn up and melt here, right? And then be brought back to the loins of the righteous Israelites, man. Right? Gotta know about death by pain, right? Because apparently, you know how Jake kind of get immune to the ass whoopers later on. Then the parents upgraded. Like I had aunties and stuff that if the belt didn't work on your ass, they'll upgrade the switches, and if the braided switches didn't work on your ass, they'll upgrade to clothes hangers and stuff, man, stitching cords and stuff, right? This is what the Lord is saying to us, man. Look, I done belt to ass y'all in so many captivities, and you niggas still don't want to. Y'all still don't want to get it. So my only decision is to kick your ass out the house and let you be on your own, man. Right, which gonna lead to your destruction, and that's how it go if you watch these Esau movies, man. They kick their little kids out the house, and what happens? The kids get on hella drugs and they die later on. They end up ODing on shit. You know, that's what the Lord is saying. Hey, I done belt to ass y'all in 7 captivity. You don't want to get right. All you got left is destruction, man. That's the only thing that the Lord can give the 2/3 of our people, man. First, he gonna hit you with a famine. Then you gotta get right along with the famine. All these plagues and pestilences is gonna be turning your asses up. Right, Lord willing, not part of the number. Right along with the proxy wars that's gonna lead up to World War III. Right, in the Valley of Decision. Right, the Lord's judgment, man. Right, and until them thermonuclears come in, man. And so we don't want to. If we already been getting belt to ass, we don't want no more of that. Right, Lord willing, part of the elect number, man. We don't want to be caught out there in no famine, man. That's a bad way to go out, man. Being hungry, man, or thirsty. That's a horrible way to go out. Right, as we see, a lot of our people are already thirsting for the wisdom of the Lord, the Spirit, and 2/3 just can't get it. So imagine a famine going along with that, right? With the wisdom of the Lord, the word of the Lord disappearing away, with the prophets disappearing away, not on their heads anymore. Imagine how come crazy they mindset they're gonna be thinking, man. Where them people at, man? Like even now where I'm at, it's people that think I'm a damn ghost. They think I'm a ghost. I was in one part and I'm in a whole nother part now. They were like, man, they got it online. They're asking like, man, where is this person dressed in the ancient biblical apparel preaching loudly, right? Oh, he must be a ghost. No, we ain't ghosts, man. Right? We ain't ghosts. If I had a lot of vexation in that spot, so I moved around, and then I don't no longer live over there, man. Right? But the point is, the word got sent out over there, right? And I'm in another area sending out the word, right? Just like how the prophets move, man. We move the Spirit of the Lord, man. We here to preach and fulfill our duty for Yahweh Shah, man. So we telling y'all, y'all hard-headed ass children, y'all don't get yourself together. These so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and American Indians, and you speckled birds out there that may like the nation you're scattered into. But look, see that? Timed in. Even the animals agree, right? So the point is, get yourself together, man, before it's too late. Even in my videos, you see at the end of the video when they're dealing with the flood, the spiritual doors are closing. What happened when they couldn't get on that boat, man? They drowned, right? They drowned, man, right? So think about that. Think about, you know what I'm saying? How gruesome that had to be, you know? You got Esau Edelman. Oh, well, technically, when you start to swallow water and drown fully and die, your brain shuts off. No, look, the Lord, you're going to feel all that, man. Your lungs expanding, you're choking to death. You're going to feel it until you go to sleep, right? Same with the fire. A fire, you're going to yell until you can't yell no more, right? And I'm just speaking on as a testimony being in a house fire, man. The shit hurts, man. Right? So we don't want to be caught out there. I don't want to be. I'm gonna be first for me and my household. I don't want to be caught out there in no damn famine, unprotected. I don't want to be caught out there in the MOTB, unprotected. That hour of temptation to come upon the whole earth. I want the Lord to protect me, right? Right? I don't want to be caught out there. Then after all that, you just get burnt up in here. Just get burnt up in a shitty ass place. No, 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 sir. And we should all have that mind state, man. Right? Let's go to verse 19, Psalms 37 and 19. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, right? In the evil time, it's talking about the hopeful elect not being ashamed, because the hopeful elect gonna be protected during a famine and gonna be protected during those thermonuclear missiles, man. Right? So the hopeful elect ain't gonna be ashamed, right? Confused or anything, man, because their reward is gonna be with the Lord, to be delivered, to be changed, right? It says, and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. So you can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. You got a lot of our people that's gonna die in the famine. Gonna be a lot of people die. Not just only 2/3 of our people, not just only a percentage of our people, but the whole earth gonna be dealing with this famine. Lord ain't about to just. He already got famines popping up in areas, droughts popping up in areas. So think about a famine, a global famine, man. And with this straight up Hormuz war that's going on, can cause a global famine, can cause global economic collapse, man. Right? I just want to make sure I'm still staying on track, so come on. Yeah, we got a few precepts, y'all. Lord willing, it's edifying. All right. It says, verse 20, but the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord Yahweh shall be as the fat of lambs. Y'all gonna be burnt offerings, man. So what we supposed to do when we sacrifice that fat and stuff to the Lord? It's burnt out, man. It's getting burnt up. So think about being the fat of lambs as a savoring offering, man. A lot of 2/3 of our people got to deal with that, but a lot of you heathens over here that done came into you think there was a streets made of gold over here. Y'all that came over here to live, and y'all realize why the hell we don't want to be here, and y'all have to deal with that fire too, right? We know Israel and Babylon have to deal with that fire, man. Right? The Lord got to purge this realm, man. He got to purge it, man. Cleanse it, right? Got to cut the wicked off. And it says, they shall consume into smoke. Shall they consume away? What happens to fat when you cook it? If you cook it in fire, fat just dissipate away. You can smell it, and that's it. So let's keep going. Let's get got Ecclesiastes 39, and let's get Proverbs 16. I'm gonna hold Proverbs 16 and Ecclesiastes 39. Hold that. Ecclesiastes 39. All right, Ecclesiastes, which is known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 39, and we're gonna get verse. We're gonna start at verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, right? So Lord has created spirits and things to come out at a specific arranged time to wreak havoc, right? It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, as I've said, to wreak havoc. It says, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So these spirits of the Lord going that he created for vengeance. Let's go into. I've just been bringing it out the whole time. A spirit that's created for vengeance, famine, right? Oh, war is a spirit created for vengeance. Death is a spirit created for vengeance. Right? These are some spirits that you can look into that are created for vengeance. Right? That will take you out. Plagues and stuff that will take your ass out, man. Are spirits of vengeance, man. Right? And we seen the world wars and what happens, the famines and what happens, the plagues and what happens to the humans. What happens to humans, the inhabitants of the earth, man, when these things happen. That's why I say lay on sore strokes. These spirits created for vengeance. The famines, the plagues, the death that's created for vengeance. They hit hard and they hit strong, man. It says on verse 29, fire and hail, even the missiles, man. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. See that? Fire, hail, death, and famine. Right? It's created for vengeance, man. Right? Isaac Khan. Wanted to bring that out, and let's get Proverbs 16. Let's start at verse 4. The Lord Yahweh have made all things for himself. Made all things for himself. Right? He ain't doing this for he ain't doing this that for the nations or this round. He doing it because he a man. He a man of his word, man. He a power of his word. Ain't nothing gonna go void. He say when he speak, that shit shake and move, man. Right? Things don't be left. You think if he speak, you think the angels and stuff sitting in the back like, oh man, we're talking to each other, right? Maybe I don't want to get out this precept, or I don't want to do it. Like how some bros be just looking at each other and stuff. You know, I know. The Lord, once he commands something, hey, you gonna see people scrambling, right? Scrambling, right? Angels probably be scrambling to get that order fulfilled, right? And the same way the prophets are on this place. We getting that order fulfilled, so we telling you what's coming, man. And Lord willing, you are preparing yourself, because you really can't do nothing but prepare yourself spiritually, right? You can stock up all the food, all the tissue, everything you want. The Lord can kill you and get that shit to somebody else, right? So your spiritual being gonna have to be on a whole nother level. Gonna have to be on Super Saiyan God mode, all right? And Lord willing, that makes sense. It says the Lord Yahweh has made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Even you wicked, the Lord has made for that day. But when that time comes, even the hour of temptation, when that time the Lord has made you to fail, he has made them to fail, to get the MOTB, or to die in famine, or to die in Jacob's trouble, or to die in World War III, right? He's our Lord. Well, we can't say nothing. Like, what can the clay say to the potter, man? Nothing. All right. It says, everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh. Everybody that's proud in heart, you got you puffed up, right? That's an abomination to the Lord. Right? You think you something, you ain't nothing. Right? We seen that plenty times in UFC, right? Even in jiu-jitsu, you know, as a lot of brothers, some elders that study it, I study it. A lot of brothers and stuff that study it. Man, you come up in there puffed up if you want to. It'd be somebody my size choke your ass out, man. Right? So it's the point is, the Lord ain't looking to deliver these Israelites that are puffed up. Because when you're puffed up, even with information knowledge, or just in general, just puffed up like you're somebody, you really are nobody. Right? If you watch the movie, I'm gonna get on a spiritual rant. You watch the movie Never Back Down, one dude was puffed up because he was fresh, he was studying jiu-jitsu and stuff for so long, no gi, right? He was no gi and they ain't do the gi, you know, they ain't do the jacket. So he's no gi for so long, but he was going through his own issues at home through with his dad and stuff. So he was like a bully. He was puffed up, thinking he was a shit. And then here come this one dude coming with same type of problems. Family, dad, it died on him, whatever. And then he come into this learning jiu-jitsu, and he learns right away that anger gets you nowhere, right? And he had to humble down, right? And a lot of you Israelites are in that mind state of being Cam Gattit, the other dude, who just think he the shit because he know martial arts, instead of being Jake, who humbles down, learn as much as possible just to conquer his own inner self, right? That was really what his story was supposed to have been about, right? And then eventually he humbles the dude that was bullying him, right? He humbles the dude that knew more jujitsu than him in the end, right? So the point is, the Lord is eventually gonna humble you damn Israelites, man. Your end result is to get humbled by that fire, man. That's the end result. You gonna burn up. You gonna look like Sarah Connor. Gonna go away, combust away, and then by the time you realize you're gonna be a youngling in the kingdom, the Lord probably gonna put the spirit on those that die in that nuclear fire to remember the shit that they did, man. That's gonna suck. That's why we want to be part of them. We don't want to remember shit in this place. I don't remember shit. I don't want to remember nothing. Excuse my French, but I don't want to remember nothing. I want to get a chariot, new body, extraterrestrial, living in the kingdom, living immortal. Right? I don't want to be sitting back, coming into the kingdom and sitting back like, damn, I was a wicked ass Israelite, man, growing up. No, man. All right, so that was a spiritual rant, Slovakia. I'm gonna finish, keep going. It says, though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Right, so those that don't want to change but want to be a part of this round will not go unpunished. It says, by mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. So by mercy and truth, right? Sin is purged, man. That's what's gonna happen, man. The Lord is using these plagues, the famine, these wars and stuff to purge out iniquity, man. To eventually get this place right for the era of Yashala, as you keep saying. It says the era of Yashala, whatever day the Lord destroys place, could be this year, next year, whatever year he destroyed, 2000 or whatever, forever. Yeah, the Lord will, we part of that number to be delivered, man. As I keep saying, it says, and by the fear of the Lord, how will men depart from evil? All right. All right, some time to get that. And let's see what else we got, y'all. Charlotte. Let's get second Ezra 15. And then we're gonna get Ecclesiastes chapter 40. And I got two more precepts, and we're gonna close it behind that. And Lord willing, this is edifying. Ecclesiastes chapter 40. And verse, I'm gonna get that's heavy. But we're gonna get verse 9. It says, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. All right. As I was brought out earlier, that Tazarah, affliction, tribulations. All right. Tazarayim. All right. It says, these things are created for the wicked. For who? For the wicked. For who? For the wicked. Right? So Lord, hey, he set it up that if you don't get yourself right, especially if you're Israelite, if you don't get yourself right, this is what's set up behind for you. This is what his final belt to ass will be. Right along with those nukes, is what I mean. Y'all ain't got tired of the Lord spinning you around in circles, giving you that belt to ass yet. All right, let's get verse 10. Let's keep going. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. All right. So that's why the flood came. It was wickedness. The wickedness got so great on earth, the Lord had to send a flood. All right. All right. So wanted to get that. Let's get 2 Corinthians 15. And then we're gonna go to Revelation 18, if I'm not mistaken, then Amos 8. Second Ezra, chapter 15. And let's start at verse I want to start at 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. As we've seen those happen, man. the swarm of bees, the swarm of locusts, the swarm of crows, all over there dwelling in that land of Israel, where those copycats are, right? Where those infiltrators are in our land, right? It says, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So the Lord's getting ready to mess Israel up and Babylon, man. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be spent with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. Right? They that till the ground, more famine, talking about more famine, shall mourn. And we seeing that happen now. A lot of the farmers and stuff are starting to be very worried about if they're going to be able to produce crops in the next decade. Excuse me. It says, for their seed shall fail through the blast and the hail and with a fearful constellation. So through all these proxy wars and through all this stuff going on, hey, crops gonna fail, man. The Lord gonna send famine and stuff, droughts and stuff. Things gonna fail. The Lord's about to make the whole global world have an economic collapse, man. Right? It says, verse 14, woe to the world, destruction to the world, and them that dwell therein. It says, for there shall be sedition, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So we see that going on now, right? We see that going on now, the wars, right? Just like Matthew 24 state, kingdom shall rise against kingdom, right? Nation against nation. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? And you have a lot of that going on. The upheavals, the civil wars, right? The people going against their so-called kings, trying to overthrow to give it back to the people and stuff, man. These things are gonna be going on, man. And the course of their actions stand in their power, man. And that's why you see Judah started to do all that burning up stuff after the George Floyd stuff and all that stuff, man. What happened behind all that? Within the last couple of years, look what the Lord has did, man. He has brought down so many graven images and idols within this realm on earth, right? He has caused, he has sparked, the Lord has sparked in the spirit of spiritual revolution, for better words. Because when the nation seen Judah, the so-called Black Americans, burn shit up, they started burning shit up, man. Right? The rest of the tribes as well, man. Right? Because Judah's supposed to be the one that roused the people up, man. Right? Slack. Let's keep going. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able. Even you have brothers dreaming about not being able to go into cities. You have all type of stuff. They can have it set up where the Lord can have it set up where this being fulfilled either with people being tagged with that MOTB, not being able to go see their families, because you got to have the MOTB to be able to pay your toll to get to a different area, or it might be just so bad, the Lord might have it so bad with the wars and famine and stuff that leaving another area, you might have to run into a cannibal or something. So the Lord ain't about to be playing, man, during this song, right? It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. See that? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, meaning steal, take, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. It's gonna be a lot of Tazarium going on, man. Tribulation is gonna be troublesome times is coming, Israel, right? Troublesome times are coming, right? And this is just another form of the Lord calling these kings of the earth to reverence him, man, to bend that damn knee. He don't care if they bend proper. It's this whole realm gonna bend the knee, man. But we can't express it enough. You're gonna bend the knee eventually, man. Right? If you believe it or not, you're gonna bend the knee eventually. All right, let's get Revelation 18 and Amos 8, and we gonna close it. And Lord willing, this edifying lesson. We go to Revelation 18. All right, Revelation 18:8. Because what's coming to this place is gonna all the plays are gonna hit this place and gonna mess the place up in one day, man. All right. Let's get Revelation 18 and let's start at verse 5. Fall of Babylon, man. It says the fall of Babylon. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and power have remembered her iniquities. The Lord has remembered this place then, that they came out from subjection under the Israelites, coming out into the Renaissance. They have just been doing nothing but wickedness, killing all the animals, killing all the plants, poisoning their air, right? Killing the people. That's all Esau even been doing. They don't know how to take care of the earth by they supposed to. They don't know how to worship a deity, right? And that's why they teach you not to, but they don't know how. They don't have the concept of worshiping a deity. They have concepts of worshiping wickedness, man. Right? Things that are not expedient is what the devil has. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. See that? So she gonna get 2, 5 times, 10 times more than what she been doing. Did unto her. It says, and the cup which she have filled to her double. So she filled her cup with riches and deceit and all type of stuff, man. Killing stuff is gonna happen to her. Cup gonna overflow on her, man. She's gonna spill that cup on herself. Better words. How much she have glorified herself, lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. So much turmoil and sorrow, torment, right? Torture, right? For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and she shall see no sorrows. You even have the people of this place, man. Damn people of this place, some of them, man. America ain't gonna never be destroyed. Man, the Lord gonna burn this place up, man. Right? The pride of this eagle, man. The Lord ain't about to. Eagle can't do shit to a lion. Remember that. Remember that now. Eagle can't do shit to a lion. That's why you never see a lion and an eagle come into contact. Because the eagle ain't gonna be able to do shit. Right? That's the eagle gonna be lunch. Right? But this is me saying that. So think about that spiritually, man. An eagle will whoop everything else in the sky and probably come down on land and whoop some shit. But they ain't about to whoop no lion. People will be like, oh yeah, it will. But no, spiritually, no, ain't none of that. But let's keep going. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. See that? As I've been bringing out. Coming famine, man, on this place. For strong is the Lord power who judges her. The Lord is just working itself up just to fully, eventually just take this place out. We keep expressing to you, people. All right, so let's get Amos 8. So this is what the Lord said. The Lord said, this is Amos 9 and 8. We can get Amos 8 and 11 first. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, power, Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. So, the famine of the word is coming, man. And without the word of the Lord, without knowing the names, Yahweh Shem Shah, a lot of our people gonna be lost, man. All right. A lot of our people ain't gonna have the spiritual wisdom and understanding that they need to be sane, to be mentally kept, right? So when you keep reading, it says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it. Right? So in that day, you're gonna have a lot of our people, especially singing, what a man at the job be talking about got dresses on and shit, man. But y'all gonna be looking for us, man. We gonna be here, Lord willing, man. We getting shown that mercy and protection while the Lord is about to take his hand from this place. This is Amos 9, let's start at verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. So the Lord saying he's gonna destroy Babylon from the face of the earth. He's gonna purge Israel, right? And I will destroy from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Because a third of the house of Jacob, 33% of our people won't get delivered. Lord willing, we probably elect number. It says, saith the Lord Yahweh, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel. And you can read that in First Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. Judgment must first begin at the house of the Lord. If judgment must first begin at us, then what shall it be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man? It's Salaki of our prayer for you there. All right, it says verse, keep going. I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted. So when you see corn getting sifted down, they use a pruning hook and they chop it down, man. Right? The Lord is doing that to our people, man. He's taking out people that don't want to follow him. He's taking out people that turn back to the realm, to this realm, go back to your vomit. He's taking them out. He's not playing no more games with our people, man. Right? And he's gonna keep doing that, keep putting that belt to ass on our people until finally the thermal nukes. They said, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent it. So, the certainty of desolation of 2/3 of our people is very guaranteed, man. They're gonna be desolate, burnt to ashes in this place where they wanted to be forever. And and a lot of the 33% of our people be in them so-called UFOs, right? In new bodies, right? No longer having to deal with this, because the Lord gonna wipe away all tears, all that anguish, all that stuff that we've been having to deal with down here. Yes, so a lot of our people gonna be crying because they got delivered. The Lord gotta wipe that away. We'll never probably cry again, and if we do cry, probably be in happiness, man. So with that, Lord willing, it's edifying that a coming famine is on the way. You have to be spiritually prepared mentally, man. Uphill, them names, hold on to them. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. If you don't, you will be caught out there, man. So I'm gonna close by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakak. All praises to the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. His one and only true name is Yahweh. Bahashem, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. His one and only true name is Yahushua. In the name of the Holy Spirit, and double honors to the elect elders of the house of David. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm your brother Gadal Gabar Yahweh with the Prophets of Good Works, Camp Power in Wisconsin. Shalom, shalom. All right. Call Halayim Lord Alahan Nawa Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakakodash, Babakshah, 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 Wa Baba Ball. May the Lord burn this place up. Till next time. Shalom, the water for tuning in. Shalom, Shamar Thumb to the Akim, the Akawaf out there. There's a Koyim out there. Hey, Barak Mashapayim out there. Shalom.